I bring you greetings from Hyderabad, India. Super excited to be at the campus of ICRISAT. Super excited to be learning so much about food security, nutrition, environment, equity. It's been an amazing and overwhelming experience learning from researchers. I believe there were over 400 people who attended this conference that started on February 21st through the 23rd. February also happens to be Black History Month, so it's nice to be here in India and see leaders from Africa, from Asia, from the US congregate and talk about issues around food security in Africa and in India and how we can really work together to end hunger in our lifetime. From the convocation that Bread for the World hosted last year in Nairobi, some of you all know that the Nairobi convocation brought 75 faith leaders from Africa, from Europe, and from the US to learn about the work that ICRISAT was doing in Nairobi related to food security. We learned a lot. It blew our minds. We were in labs. We were in school feeding programs. We visited farms. Super excited. We ate some good food. We signed a commitment to fight hunger by understanding the impact of climate. And we're grateful to Damaris and Dr. Harawa for hosting us, being very welcoming to us when we're in Nairobi. And of course, we're back because the Kenyan hospitality that we experienced brought us all the way to India on a 48-hour flight. And so glad to be here, and I'm gonna pass it on to Damaris.
I'm a Kenyan, and I work at ICRISAT as a genomics scientist. I also lead a cluster called Genomics, Prebreeding, and Bioinformatics. We work on millets, several millets that are highly drought tolerant and nutritious. We also work on 3 legumes, that is chickpea, pigeon pea, and groundnut. I was excited last year when I got communication from Dr. Abiola Afolayan from Bread from the World that she had wanted to do some work with ICRISAT just to bring a little bit of awareness in terms of what researchers are doing on finger millet in the continent. And we were able to set up a workshop, and in that workshop we were able to highlight some of the benefits of finger millet, and also we wanted to link up research on finger millet and impacts on school feeding program, which we were able to do successfully. One of the things that have been missing in the research activities we do with finger millet is to be able to document and show the beneficiaries, and also to be able to show that finger millet can be used to impact the lives of women and children. And we were able to do that through the workshop that we organized last year with Bread for the World.
We are working with the National Research Institute, with our own breeders and also our nutritionists connected to the food laboratory scientists of the national system to bring out some recipes and food recipes that are new and more convenient to our consumers. Because we have found that the crop on which we are working, which is millet, sorghum, groundnut, and more recently cowpea, are very nutritious, but some of their nutrients are not well known by the public, and they can be useful in helping the community. So that's the reason why we focus our Smart Food campaign in 2 areas, the urban area, but also the rural area. In the rural area, we're working mainly with smallholder farmers, women in particular, but we also work with health community centers. We work with a school feeding program to bring in the products that have been tested and validated in the community to see how they can help in the nutrition program at the national level. And we are working mainly with the women group because on processing, we found that they can help their own household, but also use this as a means of generating income. And also in Niger, recently, through the Smart Food Initiative, we created what we call the International Millet Festival, which has been very successful because it has been really owned by the government and is chaired by the First Lady of Niger, actually. And in Nigeria, we go into the northern area, and we are working with women again in this area, and working with the school, targeting adolescents, because this section is also very important in nutrition. When it comes to the second target, that is the urban area, where we found a new generation of consumers of our crops that are not really familiar to millet or sorghum. First, we let them discover this crop, and then we work together and to create new recipes. So in our target group, we have chefs from everywhere from Africa who have important background in social media, and they are collaborating with us, you know, to create this campaign on the smart food on the social network. So, and during this conference, I met Abiola through Damaris, and we talked about Bread for the World, and we were discussing, and we talked also about smart food, and found that there are really a lot of area of synergy for school feeding program, but also in the health community centers, and as well in empowering the women groups.
ICRISAT's work around supporting women researchers, particularly on the continent of Africa, and helping us to better the food basket, creating opportunities for smallholder women farmers, but at the same time improving the school feeding food baskets on the continent of Africa. We also see opportunities to do social media activities with ICRISAT around the work that ICRISAT is doing. So the possibilities are endless. The sky is our limit, and we cannot wait to see what the future holds.